Hey guys, welcome back to Open It and Play. This is Mike, and today we're going to be looking at the Marvel Legends series Sentinel figures. This 2-pack came out. It's sort of a tribute to the old X-Men arcade game. I think it was a 6-player game, maybe. But that game was really fun. I used to play that at one of the bowling alleys I went to often. It was an awesome beat 'em up. This 2-pack came out, last year? I can't even remember now. It's been a couple years, maybe 2 years, 1 year. But anyways, these are Sentinels for people on a budget. You can get 2 Sentinels in the pack. The pack is not cheap, but it is cheaper than buying gigantic HasLab type Sentinels or Build-A-Figure Sentinels. So here's what they look like just fresh out of the pack. And we're going to take this thing apart and go through the accessories with you first. We've got our usual rules and restrictions do apply. We've got a huge hunk of concrete here. It doesn't have any paint on it, but it does look pretty good for the sculpt. I don't know exactly the game detail, but I remember X-Man, he made a big deal about being the person who predicted this after he heard the prediction from another person. But anyways, that's still stuck in my craw. But this guy is one of the Sentinels, and they do seem to be identical. They both come with the same accessories. So we're going to take a look at one, and that basically covers both. So if I get his accessories out, he has got a couple of pieces of effects. The effect pieces are these little beam type effects. We've seen these before. The part here may be new, but the part inside seems to be the usual. You get those with like Iron Man and a lot of characters with blasts, but it does look pretty good. I'm also going to get that out so we can compare and contrast the next accessories. I'll put him back here. For the next accessories, they are a couple of open hands, so for the beam firing effect, and that's what those beams are going to be used for, probably, unless you want to use them as rockets for their boots. But the effect looks like that. A lot of people are going to think of Iron Man, but the Sentinels did have these way back in the day too. So these are not like copying Iron Man. Okay, and then onto the Sentinel himself. Let's get him in focus. So he does have this sort of computerized paint job on his face. Looks a little bit cartoony, but I've always thought that a lot of Sentinels look that way, and I always thought that's like the iconic Sentinel look for me. So I was just gonna check out his I can't help but check the articulation immediately. I remember they can't look up, even though Sentinels are famous for flying. They can't look up very well. But anyways, the overall aesthetic, some people may not like the bright colors, but to me that really pops, and that's like my mind's eye of what a Sentinel looks like. They do stand a bit tall, so let's check out how tall they stand now. He's a little out of focus there in the background. And we'll line him up. He is standing at almost exactly 7 inches, maybe just a bit shy of 7 inches. So I do have his foot seems kind of stiff out of the package, but if I make him stand flat, it might be a slightly different result, but basically 7 inches. And if you want to compare just for an idea, here he is next to Banshee, and here he is next to an old Wolvie figure. He's standing over both of them, but he will look pretty small probably compared to someone like Colossus, or I don't know, small, but at least smaller. So, and let's go through his articulation. Gotta get him sort of in focus and the right distance from the camera. So the head is on a dumbbell joint. This dumbbell joint moves really stiff. They seated it too far down inside, so it's not very good, unfortunately, for that kind of typical Marvel Legends thing. But does it give him any attitude? He's got a little bit of attitude, but like we said, he can barely look up at all. He can barely look down, though he can look down better than he can look up. So for the arms, let's see, he's got these shoulder plates that are sculpted into his shoulder joint, so you don't have to worry about those twisting off or breaking or something. His arms go out that far and around easily, so greater than 90. He's got a bicep cut that is just really flat, but it doesn't look too bad considering he's an android. He's got double jointed pinless elbows that will get you that far. The glove does kind of get in the way, but it's not too bad. Okay, and then his wrists will go back and forward. They're on a horizontal hinge, and these were also on a horizontal hinge, though the way that the hands work, it sort of looks more vertical in that position. Okay, his diaphragm joint is very functional. It'll go side to side like that, back a decent amount, but you do get a bit of a hole, a little bit of a gap, and forward just a little bit. I spoke too soon. It comes forward, but it just doesn't really give him that much. Okay. At the waist, he's just got the usual torso twist waist cut from Marvel Legends. His legs will kick up almost 90, just under 90. He does have, he can go out to the sides that far. He's got a thigh cut like that. The joints move pretty smoothly for Marvel Legends. That feels good now, but I am worried it might get loose in the future. But they feel pretty functional right now, so don't think they're gonna slip out of place right immediately. Okay, he's got a boot cut that works well, and he does have ankles that will hinge back just a tiny bit forward, not really at all, and they seem to be, yeah, they are kind of the typical Marvel Legends joint. So the hinge, and they do have just ever so slightly the ability to pivot, but not a whole lot there. But that's not a big deal because these boots are made for walking. These boots are very heavy duty, so if you don't have it posed just right, it doesn't really matter because they're going to hold him up. Okay, so in conclusion, I'm very glad I bought a bunch of these guys. Most of mine are still stateside. Don't know when I'll ever be able to get my hands on them, but it is nice to have one two-pack. Oh my goodness, one more time. It's the same thing that happened to me the last time I reviewed. But anyways, it is nice to have one two-pack. I'll get him with his friend and get a couple of alternate hands-on. One is enough. Okay. This gives you some idea what the Sentinels will look like together. If I remember right, I got an army of them for making the diorama, but like I said, most of them are trapped abroad, so I won't ever be able to get those soon. Okay, there they are, if that's in focus. Okay, thank you guys. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for tuning in every time, and I hope things are good with you. F ice and F Nazis everywhere. Bye for now.